Hello YouTube, this is Laboratory Mike with Ask a Scientist, and the question we're answering today is, how do you make soda? Alright, so let's get started. First thing we're going to need to do is gather up a few ingredients. We're going to be making both root beer as well as cream soda today. First thing, of course, we're going to need some carbonated water. Now this one I did want to take a second to explain the chemistry behind this. I do not have a soda keg on me, unfortunately, sold it a long time ago, but the way you make carbonated water, the base for all sodas, is through one of two steps. One, you can do fermentation, and with that you can buy some yeast, actually put some sugar and soda base into a 2-liter and just let it ferment for a couple days. Now I'll tell you, you can actually blow the bottle up, I've done that before. And also, since you're fermenting, sometimes the taste is a little weird, but it is possible to make soda that way. The other way to do it, and this is the way most soda's made, is through a chemical route. And the way you do that is you buy what's called a soda keg. You can check my How is Soda Made Ask a Scientist answer to see what a soda keg looks like. After that, you pressurize it with carbon dioxide. I've been told that the industry standard is 6 atmospheres. Personally, though, I've never gone above 3. And usually 3 to 4 has made a pretty good soda for me. But anyway, since also I know most of you guys don't have a soda keg either, just look for what's called seltzer water. And on the back, make sure the only ingredient is carbonated water. That is all you need out of this. Alright, so that's ingredient 1. Ingredient 2, what soda wouldn't be complete without sugar, right? So I've got some sugar here. Also, you can experiment a little bit with honey. Number 3, so this is where we're starting to get into the flavor ingredients. So for root beer, the base flavor for root beer comes from Sassafras. And this is Pappy Sassafras tea. Do not buy it for $10 online like I've seen at some places. I got this from my grocery store for $1.50. And if your grocery store doesn't carry it, ask them to. Alright, let's see. What's our last one? Last one here is vanilla. This is used both for root beer and for cream sodas. Anytime you see cream in the name, actually it is this vanilla flavor. So that I found pretty surprising. Next thing we're going to need is some tools. So I've got a little bowl here, got my Pyrex cup, got some spoons, only one of them is an actual measuring spoon, the others are just for mixing. I've got an electronic scale here, and finally, because I'm going to drink this, a glass. Now for any soda recipe, the first thing you need to do is create a base, and then to this base you're going to add carbonated water. If you've ever seen soda fountains at a restaurant, especially the kind where you serve yourself the soda, that's actually what's going on inside the machine, is that they've got all the different syrups, and then they mix that with the soda water as it comes out the nozzle. Anyway, so what we're going to do first is we're going to start building our base with a little bit of sugar. Now, one question people have, of course, is, how much sugar do you put into soda? The typical ones with high fructose corn syrup. Also, gotta turn this on. Typical ones with high fructose corn syrup take about 26 to 28 grams of sugar per can of Coke. I'm kind of giving away my southern origin there, calling it Coke. But when you use real sugar, you got to use more. You got to use about 36 grams. By the way, if you're in my middle school class, I am absolutely going to quiz you guys on what this is in deca or hectograms. Alright, so here we go, 36 grams of sugar. As you can see, this is how much you drink every time you drink a natural sugar soda. And also, if you drink a Coke, you're drinking about 2/3 of this. Is it a lot of sugar? You bet it is. Alright, I'm going to mix that into mixing bowl here. And I'm going to start with some vanilla. And I might be way overshooting on this, so I'm going to look at roughly half a teaspoon. Alright, so the next thing is, don't have any water here, so I'm going to mix this in directly. The next step is we got to get the sugar nice and dissolved like that. And if you're going to try this one at home, I would definitely suggest just adjusting these to taste. And you don't have to use the scale, but if you don't, I would say 1 to 2 tablespoons is what you're looking for. Alright, let's see. That looks like it's getting pretty close to mix, so see what's going ahead. Starting to look familiar. Alright, so let's try it. Cream soda. And you know what, that came out just about perfect. So the recipe for the cream soda, once again, is 36 grams, or we'll guess about 2 tablespoons or so of sugar. This one's a little bit sweet, so you may want to try less. After that, a half teaspoon of vanilla, and then you just mix in carbonated water to taste. But as you can see, you get that very classic color of cream soda. Nice and bubbly and delicious. Alright, round 2. Now we're going to do it with some root beer. Now there's a nice relationship between root beer and cream soda, namely, they are almost exactly the same, except that with the root beer, you're adding just one more ingredient. Alright, we're going to zero that. Alright, now last time it was just sugar. I'm going to do something a little bit fancy this time. For the root beer, I'm going to add some honey. New container. But once again though, about the same amount of sugar. We're going to do a little bit less. So you guys at home might know about something called high fructose corn syrup. And that's because fructose is sweeter than table sugar. So you can stretch the amount of sugar in a little bit. You might not know it, but honey also has a lot of fructose in it. So there's some beneficial things, but what that means for the sweetness is you should use just a little bit less, which is what I'm doing here. Now this time around, we are actually going to use the units on our Pyrex cup here, because we are going to add to our sugar enough sassafras to make this 4 ounces. Alright, so there we go. So now, unlike our previous time, we actually got some liquid to stir our base in. Another question you might ask is, this is a lot of sassafras tea, why would you use so much? Especially since we use so little vanilla. And the reason why is sassafras tea is not that strong. If you just got some sassafras flavoring, or if you were able to get like root beer flavoring, which is, once again, just this, then you may use less. But if you get the Pappy Sassafras tea, you do need to use more. Alright, here we go. Now there are a variety of other flavorings and spices you can add to make a richer root beer. But once again, sassafras, vanilla, and sugar are what you need. Also, one way to tell whether or not you add enough sassafras, look at the color of it. You should get a pretty deep brown. Otherwise, if it seems to look a lighter brown or almost yellow, then you haven't added enough. Make sure to add some more. But alright, let's try it. Once again, awesome. So here again, recipe for the root beer. 4 ounces, or about a half cup, of sassafras tea. In particular, here's Pappy's. Once again, you can find this at grocery stores, particularly health food stores. After that, you can add sugar. Now for this one, optionally, you can also add honey. Here again, think about, do we even add it this time? But I would say, once again, half a teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. And then finally, you fill up the difference with your carbonated water. Okay, that's it. As you can see here, to make your own soda, you only need a few ingredients, a few tools, and really not that much time. It's very easy to do, it's fun to try, and also maybe it'll help you start asking questions such as, if it only takes a few ingredients to make soda, why are there usually so many when I pick up and read the ingredients list on a can of Coke? I will say this, hopefully this is the starting point for exploring questions like those, but on top of that too, if you decide to try out your own recipe, like if you try to do your own lemon lime, please go on ahead and post it on the comments section, either on my website or on YouTube. And until then, just have fun, be good, and ask good questions.